All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, wherever you are, thank you for joining me and get ready. Grab your popcorn. There's a couple of spare seats here at the front. We've got a juicy video for you today. Welcome to 1-0. Before we do start, it'd mean a lot if you could like, subscribe, do all that business. We're all here for a bit of fun and it's good vibes only. So, you can probably tell by the title. I'm a Manchester United fan. We've seen it before. We've got the Rashford kit behind me. Couple of results haven't gone our way. Man United lost to Sheffield. Man United, at this point last night, we drew 0-0 to Arsenal in a game where Premier League winners and Premier League hopeful winners should be finishing that off and showing enough hunger to really put that game to bed, really, which is why I'm going to ask the question, are Manchester United contenders or Manchester United pretenders? Now, I proposed this question to the Instagram followers. If you haven't followed me, _1-0, check it out. You can be involved. We've got here 39% say Manchester United are contenders, 61% say Manchester United are pretenders, which is very, very interesting. I'm going to try and answer this question myself, be unbiased as possible. Like I said, subscribe to all that business, because I want you to drop it in the comments right now. What do you think Manchester United are? Do you think Bruno's success is, like I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, he'd been there for a year at Manchester United, and how quick he's turned things around? Have Man United shown enough to make you think they are contenders? Or are the last two games, as we've seen, been evidence enough to say Manchester United, you lot are pretenders? Now, like I said, I'm going to try being as unbiased as possible. I think Manchester United, currently sitting second on the ladder, Leicester play tomorrow in a game which they probably should win, which will see Man United go third. Currently 3 points behind Man City also. And also, Man City have a game in hand, which is pretty scary. Man City have peaked at a perfect moment. I think it's Man City look like they're going to be favourites to win the league. And Liverpool, we know what's kind of going on with them. However, they did play a very, very good game against Tottenham and looked a little bit more Liverpool-like. So could that mean that Liverpool are back to it? If Liverpool could go unbeaten for the rest of the year, we don't know. I personally don't think they will. I think Liverpool might probably finish whereabouts they are now. And then makes the title race a little bit more interesting, because I feel like the loss to Sheffield by Manchester United, I hate to say it, but it could be the start of the end. You know, United were in the title race. We still are in the title race. The only problem is what Man United were doing was these games where we used to lose and walk away with a point, we would finish them. They weren't pretty. Like the games against Fulham, we finished it, didn't play the best, but we got the job done. Pogba played well, and that was it. We walked away with 3 points, pack our bags, move on. The problem is now, we had that game against Sheffield, and we looked too comfortable. We just looked like, in the first 40 minutes, we couldn't have scored 2 or 3 goals. We shouldn't have buried them. Rashford has got to start burying his chance. I love Rashford. Got his kit behind. Rashford has got to start burying his chances. Martial, as we know, is in terrible form. And everyone said it before. I know he's been on the channel before also. He said that Martial will not be the starting striker if Man United want to taste success. And I totally agree with that. That's weird. I just quoted Harry Senior. If for Man United to have success and to win Premier Leagues and establish themselves continuously each year, Martial is not that striker who will be there. Haaland, different story. If Man United were to throw all their money at Haaland, I feel like it's a completely different story. I feel like Champions League, we could make a big push. I feel like Premier League will make a huge push, because he's a goal scorer and just a natural striker who has that general sniff for goals. Something like Edison Cavani. Only difference is Cavani's 34, but the guy works like an absolute machine. He doesn't stop. I do like Cavani. However, against Arsenal, bit of a shambles, missed a clear opportunity, and an opportunity which Edison Cavani and someone of his caliber and someone with his resume, you expect to bury 99% of the time. So leads me to the point, we had the loss to Sheffield. We looked too comfortable. There didn't seem to be enough hunger. There didn't seem to be enough fight. Then we come out and play Arsenal, and I don't think Arsenal played too bad, but they had no Saka, they had no Tini, whereas we had our full-strength team, and it's kind of like, what went wrong there? Again, I think what went wrong against Arsenal was the lack of composure to finish a shot. to the lack of composure to get that final ball in and every single time prove to be crucial on the attack. The Bruno Fernandes does look tired. I've got to admit, if I was Ole, I'd almost risk it and say, Bruno, you can stay on the bench. Let Donny start. We've got someone like Donny who can come on. And I think Donny against Arsenal would have made a difference. I think that game was open for Donny because it was quite counter-attacking. It was quite balanced back and forths. But the problem is, we lost to Sheffield, who've been the worst Premier League team in history. So it's kind of like, hold on, are we good enough to really bench and rest our good players? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think so. What we're seeing with the Premier League this year is that 2 weeks ago, Liverpool were done. Liverpool were done and dusted. Now, beat Tottenham. They looked good. There's no problems. Man United, a couple of weeks ago, people were like, could they actually do it? 21 could happen in 2021. Now we lose to Sheffield, have a draw against Arsenal, and it looks like that hunger's kind of disappeared. We know the stat that's come out about Man United in the top six, against top six teams, have only scored one goal and it was a penalty. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, well, how are we second? You know what I mean? It's definitely not good enough. And if I'm Ole, if I'm part of Manchester United, even just as a fan, I'm saying that's not good. We've only won. We've scored one goal against the top six teams. However, it means that, like I said before, and the United fans will know, 2-3 years ago, I was more nervous for a game against West Ham than I was for a game against Man City. Because there was something about it, I go, it's West Ham, they probably could run us over. Whereas the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, we're finishing these games off. And which I've always said, a good team, a championship team, grinds the victories out, they do their business, they move on, pack the bags, and they're off. Because now we're seeing that starting to trickle down a little bit and start to not really happen. We've got some important fixtures coming up. Manchester City also have some important fixtures coming up also. So it's got to be very interesting to see how the season holds out. I still think it's a 3-horse race. I think United are contenders. I don't think we're pretenders, but I think we are contenders because I think it is a 3-horse race between Man United, Man City, and Liverpool. Can you throw in Leicester in that contention? I don't know. I feel like everyone's disrespected Leicester. Brendan Rodgers has done a madness with Leicester. They look very good, but I'm just thinking later on in the season how they got to share, how they got to fare, whatever. But again, when United start playing Europa League again, when Liverpool start playing European football, Man City also, Leicester won't have as a demanding fixture. Who's to say Leicester can't skyrocket up the ladder? They're not that far behind. They most likely, the morning you're watching this, Leicester probably should have won and are sitting second on the ladder, 3 points behind City. But City obviously have the game in hand. So I'm going to go and say United are contenders. However, I don't... It pains me to say it, lads. It pains me to say it. I think we are contenders because I think we've shown enough to say, you know what, United can hang with the big dogs with second and third on the ladder now. However, there needs to be a lot more to happen over the next 10 or so rounds for United fans to confidently say, you know what, we're in this. And for the other fans to say, you know what, United, they're a bit of a threat. They could actually do it. It's got to take a lot. It's got to be very, very interesting next couple of weeks. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we've stuck by him, which Chelsea hasn't. And we can see what Chelsea's done. I'm wanting to get a couple of boys on for a podcast on that. So it's very interesting times at United. It's confusing. It's difficult being a United fan, man. It's too hard. It's just crazy, man. It's too hard. But I'm hoping everything goes well. I'm hoping Ole sticks by. I'm hoping Pogba stays. I'm hoping Martial gets on the score sheet, man. Diallo looked good in the under-23s against Liverpool, which we won 6-2. Thank you very much. He scored 2 goals. Diallo, he looked good. The little he looked mucho gracias. So I'm hoping United can win it. I think we're still in the title race. I think we are contenders. However, if the next 2-3 games don't go to plan, United could see themselves getting memed again and fighting for the top 4 with Man City running away with the league, which I kind of expect Man City to run away with the league in the next couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching. Do you agree with me? Have I made up some absolute nonsense? Where do you think United need to improve? Do you think United are contenders or pretenders? Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Share it with your friends. Tell your mum, tell your auntie, tell your dog, tell your sister, tell your cat, tell your girlfriend, tell your brother, tell your neighbor. I've been 1-0. drop in the comments, subscribe to all the business. I'm out. Come on, United.